Good morning. The 17th day of the month of Ab, August 4th, 2023. Continuing with Siddur Tefillat HaHodesh. So we ended with a brief prayer that you say when entering the Bet Knesset. The next thing in the Siddur is Petihat Eliyahu Nabi, this opening, this introduction to the prayers of Eliyahu Nabi, and this is from the Tikkunei HaZohar, and it's basically a set of teachings, or part of a set of teachings that Eliyahu Nabi taught to Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, and this is obviously has a very, very deep meaning to it. It has different levels and aspects to it. But at the simplest level, it can be understood as showing us the building blocks of the chain of command, how things get up to heaven, of the different spheres of the world, of the different parts of the body, how they connect. And it helps basically channel you into the prayer. Now, obviously, this is, a one-line sentence, gives no real justice to what Petihat Nabi is, and if you're looking for a good translation and a good commentary, shout out to Rabbi Abraham Sutton, a community member who made Aliyah back in the 70s. He lives in Yerushalayim. He has written extensively on Petihat Nabi in English. It's a subject that he studied for many, many years. He's written about. I think he even published a book recently on it. It's about 200 pages or so. Well worth reading if you're interested. Anyway, so this is what it says over here in the Siddur. כתב הארי, זכר צדיק וקדוש לברכה, שטוב לאדם ללמוד פתיחת אליהו בכניסתו לבית הכנסת קודם כל תפילה, והיא מסוגלת לעזור ולהועיל לפתוח הלב ביראת השם, ולא יעבור מלאומרה, וגם כן היא מסוגלת לכמה עניינים. All right, we'll stop there. So the Ari, who was the famous father of Lurianic Kabbalah, Rabbi Yitzhak Luria Ashkenazi, wrote that it's good for a person to study Petihat Eliyahu Nabi when entering the Bet Knesset before each tefillah, in other words, before Shahrit, before Minha, before Arbit, etc. And it basically has the ability to help a person to open up his heart in attaining the proper fear of God. And a person should not, just pass it over and not say it. Also, it can help with other things once you understand it. And he says, open up by saying the pasuk of Vihinu Amadonai Eloheinu Adinu Maaseh Adinu Kunna Adinu Maaseh Adinu Kunna, and then continue with Petihat Nabi, Petah Eliyahu Nabi, Zechol Tehu Rabbi Ribbon Almin, etc. And he goes through the whole Petihat Nabi. There's no point for me to read it or to translate it to you. It's something that if you're interested to study, look into it. Now I want to move into the next part. And to me, the next part is something that I first discovered when I was still in high school. I must have been about 16 years old when I came across it. And it's just unbelievable. It's really an unbelievable piece of prayer. It comes from the Hida. It appears in the beginning of his book, Sipor and Shamir. And it's listed in every printing of Tefillat HaHodesh as Devarim Ahadim. Some things. But Ahadim is a play on words of the Hida. From the Hida. Words from the Hida. That's what Ahadim is a play on words over here. And basically it's an opening to a person preparing themselves to do mitzvot. And stating, I have done this mitzvah, I'm going to do this mitzvah, I'm ready to do that mitzvah. And it's a list of about 40 different items for a person to mention each and every day. And there are separate lists for weekdays as well as for Shabbatot and holidays. They start off the same and they finish the same, but the middle section is where they break up. I want to start reading it together with you guys and have an idea of what we're talking about over here. Okay? So it opens up l'shem Yehud Kutsha B'richu Shante B'thilu Urhimu Urhimu Tchilu Yehadash Shem Yevkebe Vkebe Yehudash Shilim Shem Israel. Okay, basically for the sake of joining together all the different letters of God's name to unify Him into one. In the name of all Israel. הריני מקבל עליי אלהותו יתברך כמו שסיוונו במעמד הר סיני. Behold, I accept upon myself His holy or His blessed godliness as He commanded us at that point that we as a nation assembled at Mount Sinai. And we start. Aleph. Anochi Adonai Elohecha asher hoseticha me'eres Mitzrayim bet abadim. Okay, I am the Lord your God, who took you out of Egypt from the house of bondage. Bet umizvat et Adonai Elohecha tira, and the mizvah of fearing God. Gimel umizvat ve'ahabta et Adonai Elohecha, and the mizvah of loving God. V'hareni ohev Hashem yitbarach b'chol libi u'b'chol nafshi u'b'chol me'odi. And behold, I love the blessed God with my entire heart and soul and might. V'hareni yere mimenu b'chin di'ihu rab v'shalit ikara v'shulsha d'chol almin v'chol l'kameh kela. And I have fear of Him because He is the master of it all. He is at the source of it all, and nothing exists without His intervention. V'hareni mamlicho al kol eber ve'gid minama hibarim b'shasa gidim shel gufi nafshi ruhi nishmati malchut gemura. And here, behold, I am stating that I am underneath Him. He is the king. He rules over every joint in my body, every muscle, every sinew, everything. All 100 of the 248 Ibarim, all of the 365 Gidim of my guf, my physical body, my nefesh, my ruach, my neshama, complete kingdomship He has. V'hineni abed Hashem. Okay, and here I am a servant to God. Hu berahamav yizakenu le'abdo beleb shalem v'la'asok b'torah l'shma u'b'mizvot u'chbilot hasadim v'yu chol ma'asenu l'shem shamayim. And Him, okay, in His mercy, will merit us to serve Him with a complete heart and to toil in the Torah, for the sake of heaven, for the sake of Torah, and in Mizvot, and in Gimil Hasadim, in acts of kindness, and may all our deeds be L'Shem Shamayim, be for the sake of doing good deeds. It's an unbelievable thing that you say before you even get to prayers. I'll read one more, I'll read number 4, and we'll cut it here for today because it's rather long. Number 4, Dalit. V'harini mekayem mizvat ve'habta l're'acha kamocha. And I am fulfilling the mizvah of loving my fellow man. V'harini oheb et kol adam Yisrael kinavshi. And I love every human being of the Jewish nation as myself. V'hi ratzon lefanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elokei Abotenu shetirachem al kol ish ve'isha Katon, O Gadol, Yahid, O Rabbim, Ammecha Yisrael, Asher Hem Shurim Basar. And please, God, okay, please have mercy upon any man or woman, young or old, small or large, single or many, from your entire nation that may be in a state of sorrow or trouble or anguish. Anna Adonai Hasilem Misaratam. Please, God, save them from their problems. Udbarechem Birchotecha. And give them all your blessings. And and allow them to return to the fold completely. And redeem us, a complete redemption for the sake of your name. The Pasuk says that God becomes the master, the ruler, the king of the entire earth. Because on that day, God's name becomes one. And I am also keeping and upholding the 10 memories. And we'll talk about what those 10 memories are. 10 memories are something that a person needs to recall each and every day, and we'll talk about in the following episode. But I just wanted one point, that when the Haidah is talking over here about saving all these Jews, at the time there were still many Jews that were hidden Jews in the world, that they were hiding out, and they were hiding the Judaism, and they were still like Moranos, still like Anusim. They had to be as Christians or even as Muslims outwardly, and then as Jews inwardly, and they lived mixed lives with a lot of confusion, and in that mix and over the course of time they lost a lot. So the Haidah was concerned with these people and wanted them to be able to come back to their entire true roots as part of Am Yisrael. Have a beautiful Shabbat, and Be'ezrat Hashem will continue next week.